Morey has stepped down from the Rockets general manager job. He will still serve in an advisory role, just to make sure they get the head coach that they want. And I think some of this was just Morey on his own end, just kind of want to take a break from the league. And I think some of this was just due to Tillman Fertitta kind of wanting to fire Daryl Morey just because of the China incident, where that cost the league a lot of money, and the Rockets specifically too, probably, just because of their huge following in China. So yeah, I think the perfect way to summarize this is kind of what Amin Hassan said on on ESPN's The Jump. Necessarily, he wasn't fired. He wasn't asked to. Once he said he was going to resign, he wasn't asked by Tillman Fertitta to come back to the job. So it's I think what it was that, he was costing the Rockets owner, Tillman Fertitta, a lot of money. Luxury tax, also lost revenue because of the China preseason incident. And I think there was maybe some pull to fire him at some point. But I do not think that he was actually fired. I do think the seat was kind of warming. He was probably on the hot seat. Or he was on the hot seat. Which is kind of weird because he's been a really good GM besides the China incident. He's always been able to he's made 77 trades in the last 11 years. And he's always been to make a new scenario, like when Dwight Howard left in free agency. First he signed Dwight Howard, and then when Dwight Howard and James Harden started beefing, then he got Dwight Howard out there, and then he was able to build a team that was all about the three ball. And then he brought Chris Paul in, and that really shouldn't have worked because that was 2 point guards. And it did work. They were going to go to the finals if Chris Paul didn't get injured in Game 6. And then once it seemed like there was kind of a reported beef between Chris Paul and James Harden, and also that team was getting stagnant. It wasn't really going to go anywhere. He traded for Russell Westbrook, and that trade really, it hasn't exactly worked out. It hasn't worked out. It hasn't not worked out. And they kind of got differing results this year. I do think that the Rockets owner expected to win the championship this year. Rockets team, it's going to be interesting where they go from here. They don't have a head coach. Eli Bates, I think I'm pronouncing that name right, is now the the head guy of basketball decisions. He's the executive vice president of basketball operations for the Rockets. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting where they go from here. And yeah, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.